Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Alabama Organic Gardening. This video we're going to be talking about garden prep and overwintering plants, specifically greens in Zone 7. I'm actually in central Alabama, and Zone 7 is kind of split right where I'm at into Zone 7A and 7B, so I kind of toe the line and I take cues from both zones when I'm looking at notes about when to plant and what to plant and all that kind of stuff. So it does get very, very cold here in the winter, and then we have very, very hot summers. So we have a window in the spring and the fall that we can really grow some great stuff. And there's a lot of plants that we can overwinter. So right now we're working on a plot, tilling up a plot and working in some organic material for our spinach bed. It's about a 6x6 area, and I normally don't like to use the rototiller or the tiller attachment on the flower beds or the vegetable beds, just because I don't really like to injure or disrupt a lot of the worms and other bugs and helpful insects that are in the dirt. But last year, this was our potato area. We grew a lot of potatoes in this little patch, and it was mainly just red clay, this hard red clay. So we've actually had a pretty solid improvement from last year in terms of soil quality. So I just wanted to mix everything in and kind of get it going. So all I did was till up the whole area, and now you can see I'm just raking off all of the extra stuff that's kind of too big to work down into the soil. It just kind of works its way to the top. And with that rake too, I'm just creating ridges, and I will put my spinach seed in there. I've got a lot of spinach seeds, and I'm just going to kind of cast them out over that whole area, and then just thin them out as they come up and eat them as kind of baby greens too, and juice them and all that kind of stuff. I've also left a ditch, kind of a low spot on either side, just for good drainage. We get kind of a good bit of water in that area of the yard, so it's good to leave that drainage area. So you can see Luna in the background helping me, rolling around. She's pretty funny all of the time. So let's take a look at the rest of the garden, and I'll kind of show you what overwintered and what I planted where and all that good stuff. So this is the other area of the garden, of the little plot that we're working on, and these two kale plants right here I actually picked up from underneath a tree that you can see kind of closer toward the house. Somehow some kale seeds got dropped over there, and these plants sprouted up. So you can tell they were very, very leggy just by the way that they developed and grew. They didn't receive much sunlight, so I thought I'd move them. So I transplanted them over here, and I like to take off, of course, any dead leaves. I think it kind of decreases the stress on the plant, any injured or dying leaves, and just compost those. But there is some new growth on here. The leaves are starting to turn up towards the sun. Eventually there won't be anything touching the ground. That's my goal. And we can have a healthy plant. So you can see that one, new growth, and then there's one just to the left of it. So I did plant some more kale, but that'll just kind of get us a jump start on the season. And here you can see the lemongrass I planted last year. It was such a small plant, and it's kind of gotten huge, and it will cover up that whole corner. And rosemary. Love, love, love rosemary. It was just a little one stem twig when we planted it last year too. So it's doing really well. And we've used it quite a bit. Here you can see my muscadine vines and some garlic on the left. And then our garlic plot right here. And we've got, notice that I covered it in straw, and that straw is just kind of worked down. And it makes it so easy to pull up weeds and just pull them up and then cover them back up. And all the garlic plants are doing really strong this year. They look really healthy. So I'm super excited to have some good sized garlic, and we'll definitely utilize those in the kitchen. So this is the other end of the yard. I haven't done anything over here. As you can tell, there's weeds everywhere, but they'll come up easy because the soil is fairly loose, because I've kept really good care of it as far as mixing in organic material and all that. So what we have here is two Swiss chard plants. I planted these last year. Did not expect them to overwinter. Didn't know that they could kind of almost be a perennial in my zone. But this Swiss chard is excellent. You can see the one on the left. It's kind of a redder color than the largest plant there. That one is old. The stalk is huge, and it is recovering from a big bout of frost that we had a couple weeks ago. So what I did to overwinter these was just anytime that it got cold, like around 35 degrees or so, I covered them with straw. I made sure the bases were covered with straw. And then I didn't really cover the leaves with straw, but if they did get frostbitten, as you can see, some of these here did. I'm just cutting those out, pulling them up, cutting them out, and keeping that plant healthy. So we've got a big jump on Swiss chard. Yes, we planted some more in the garden behind me, but we've already got a fair amount, so we'll be using that. Swiss chard you can use just like spinach too. It's really great green, especially for zone 7. The other thing I've got to do here is take more of this straw and cover this area up and protect the soil. If you take care of the soil will take care of you for sure. So yeah, just cleaning that one up, keeping it pruned up, and the more you prune it, the more it seems to put out leaves, honestly. So we've got that, and then we've got some arugula and cabbage to show you too. Those both overwintered. Here's the cabbage here. And honestly, what happened was this. I think I had 10 cabbage plants last year. Planted them all. They all did really well. And I wanted the roots to rot down in the soil just to feed the worms and everything. So what I did was I cut off the cabbage heads at the very, at the top. And you can see right there where I cut it off, and then it actually started growing back. And it produced 4 heads. I'm going to trim that one off just because it didn't do, it kind of got frostbitten, didn't do really well. But these baby leaves we've been eating on, and I've harvested one of these little cabbage heads, and it's just great for just a 1 meal side of cabbage to add to your meal. It's really great. So here's the arugula. It's already gone to flower. You can see a little ladybug here, and we'll get plenty of seed. It will probably reseed itself and be back next year. It smells wonderful, tastes even better. It's just fantastic. So that's pretty much the garden so far. I hope to really see a lot of growth this year. There's my sweetheart Luna. We'll see all of you on the next video. God bless you guys. Have a good one.